It's third day, Mississippi. Greg and I roosted some birds last night, so gotta get up real early and try to slide into that creek bottom with them, get right underneath them. Greg's gonna stay back and edit today, and Jake is gonna go with me. They got in about 1 o'clock, so he's running on a little over 3 hours sleep maybe, but we'll be alright. He's young and spry.
And there's gonna be turkeys gobbling. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Morning.
Happy to be here.
Good luck. Y'all too.
There's a bunch of people that know about these turkeys. You hear them from the road, so we've arrived. Let's get in there and underneath of these things.
So everybody knows what's going on, then you got them pretty well briefed.
These birds, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been talking to them for the last day nonstop. Fortunately for us, they got a brain the size of a pea, and I'm sure they've already forgotten about everything that happened yesterday. So,
and we got the place to ourselves.
We have the place to ourselves right now, but that's because we're an hour before they start gobbling. There'll be somebody else coming down this road eventually. Right there, wouldn't it? Yeah. There's a bunch of hens up there, though, so I don't know how close we can get. We can definitely cover some more ground, though.
I'd say so, yeah.
There they are. That's him, too.
Can't go much further.
Just pitch down to that bottom right there. See him?
Here, turkey to the right.
How far?
60. She was right over there walking towards other birds.
There was a bunch of turkeys in them trees. 7 or 8 turkeys right there, I think. You notice these birds, when they gobble, it's just not, the sound don't carry as far in here. They've moved deeper that way. These gobblers have not set a peep since they hit the ground. We watched them fly down with a half a dozen hens or so, and there was another bird gobbling deeper in the creek bottom. It's cool, it's overcast, low pressure morning. They're just not gobbling very good. But we can occasionally hear those hens yelping out there a couple 100 yards away, so me and Jake are going to slip up here a little closer. See if the sun pops out here eventually and these birds fire up. There's another turkey track right here in the mud, Jake.
A lot of sign.
Man, there's a bunch of scratching in here, ain't there? The sun is starting to pop out a little bit. The birds are singing, but we have not heard a turkey for some time. We found a bunch of sign in here, though. There's a bunch of fresh scratching. They're in here a bunch, Jacob.
Yeah, there's like a lot of old scratching and fresh stuff from this morning.
I wonder.
Older tracks and fresh tracks, like they've been in here, like you said, a bunch. If we do leave, we probably should just come sit down in here in the afternoon.
I agree.
I think we could go hop around and just check out some other areas midday if you wanted, but
That'd be fine with me. There's a big dust bowl right there. The turkey's been dusting in the sand next to this creek. We just found all that scratching back here 60 yards away, and all those turkeys were roosted right down along this creek this morning. And there's tracks everywhere on that sand. But nothing's talking right now. Jake and I are going to jet back out of here, go check out some other spots, and maybe come back in here this afternoon or this evening. If we can get in here without spooking everything. That would be the issue.
Mississippi. Yeah, it is public right next to it. It was the last field, wasn't it?
No, the one right next to it.
Just spotted some Turks from the road. How many was there?
2 at least, it looked like.
Hens?
One was for sure him, but the back one looked like it could have been a tom maybe.
Oh, Jacob.
We'll find out here in a second.
Looking for road gobblers.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Who was? Maybe he'll walk the public.
First longbeard that I've seen in Mississippi this trip. He's gonna go back to pecking. I wish he was strutting a little bit. He
was when we first pulled up here.
He was strutting?
Yeah.
Just now when we first pulled up he was in half strut? That's pretty cool. I mean, he's definitely worth hunting at some point, but I don't know that he's worth hunting right now, is what I'm saying.
Now it's probably going to be a while before he gets back on the public, I'd say.
Yeah, I wouldn't assume.
Hot, Jacob. We're on our way in for the afternoon, evening hunt, going right back to the same spot where we left those turkeys this morning. They have not gobbled on the ground, I don't think. They just gobbled in the tree this morning and then pitched down with a bunch of hens. But on our walk out, we found a ton of sign down there, so we're gonna slide down through this thick stuff here, get in that creek and just ease in there real slow. Try to set up over a bunch of that fresh scratching that we found this morning. Just sit there and wait them out this afternoon. There's a good chance they'll come back through on their way to roost, or maybe we'll even hear one gobble if they lose their hens or something. I'm just gonna try to stick with these birds because they've had a bunch of hens the last 2 days, but they definitely don't want to leave this river bottom. They just float around in it all day, so I feel like if we can get in there and get pretty tight to them, set up on some fresh sign like this, we might have a chance.
I think get up to this tree in front of here.
This one?
Yeah.
He could be coming fast. He was a ways in there, wasn't he? It's exactly what they did yesterday. Gobbled once. He sounded pretty deep. All that scratching we found was just right up there.
Yeah, and behind us.
He did?
Yeah.
Where was he?
Straight out in front.
Closer to no.
Sound like it could have been. I couldn't really hear over your calling.
You hit low right there. I thought I heard it, yeah. Yep, hear it.
Where is it?
Straight up, straight down my gun.
Yeah, walking.
Sounds like he's moving to the right. Might see him. I see him. Yep, don't move.
Where's your gun?
Right down it.
Tell me when I can put my head back.
Here he comes, Jake.
Can I put my head?
No, are you on him? make sure it's a tom first. He's got to have a 6-inch beard or longer.
What's that?
He has to have a 6-inch beard. He's a tom.
Looks like it. I'll tell you when I know.
No, he is. I can see it. I can see his beard. Here he comes.
Got that big tree.
Yep. Big fish in here.
Huh.
Hang on. Got him.
Not yet, though. Just ask me when.
I'm gonna kill him.
Not yet.
Now.
Got him. Bud.
Jacob! Get out of here, man. Are you kidding me? He was coming. I was gonna let him come, but like, nuh-uh. Not after hunting these birds for 2.5 days. As soon as he got in the opening, I was like, see ya.
Dude, you can't tell if you had a long enough beard or not for long.
Oh yeah. They gotta have a 6-inch beard or longer in Mississippi. You can't shoot jakes. I knew it was a tom, but I was just making sure they had a, longer than a 6-inch beard. I can't believe that just happened.
All by himself, midday though.
Yeah, dude.
Gobbled 2 times and then just nothing but
Yeah,
drumming.
gobbled twice.
It's cool how they just will drum like that though. When they get close range, they know they should be around the hen. He just sat over there and you could see a bunch. He just.
He got in the open at like 50 yards. And I could hear him drumming. Me and Jake could not see him. But then I realized, like, there's a black blob out there. And then I saw him strut, and I saw the top of his white head. I'm like, oh crap, he's right there. Yeah, I mean, he came straight in to the point where he could see down in here. Man, I'm shaking. And he was looking straight down in here for us.
He stood there forever.
Oh, I thought that was gonna be it.
He was like, never nervous. He was never just like long necking or anything.
See the shadow of this tree right here? That's
back.
why, man, you kill a lot of turkeys midday because of those shadows like that. Like he had to come in looking like that.
This is right where all that sign started though. Such a realistic situation, you know what I mean? Like he knows that that's happened before. There's been over here before and you just came right over.
We filmed all those gobbler tracks right here in the edge of the creek this morning. And I bet you this is that subordinate bird we heard gobbling.
Could be, yeah.
Because
that's right where the dusting is right here.
Yeah, right here's where the dusting is. Holy cow, Jacob. He started coming in. I'm like, oh crap, did I remember to load a shell?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's too late now because I can hear him drumming. He was gonna keep, I should have just let him keep coming. But I'm like, there were so many trees in the way.
The
like,
footage is good too. Like it was perfect.
Holy cow. I mean, my heart was about to beat out of my chest, dude. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look back at our setup, guys. Come here. You can see the shadow on the back of that tree where we were sitting. We came in with the sun at our back. And right here next to the creek, about a 20-30 yard buffer. It's a little bit thicker. I don't know what these are, but there's a bunch of these trees in here with shade and stuff, and this is where we found all that scratching earlier. And when we were in here finding scratch and finding sign, me and Jake were talking, this is the place to kill them right here, because this is where they got to come looking for you. Because if you call that thing in out in the middle of that bottom, he's going to come to 80, 100 yards and just set up shop.
How long he stood there and looked for us.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, imagine if it was wide open. He'd be like, no, I know. He almost did turn around one time. It looked like where he was going to get out of there, but he turned and came towards us.
He just couldn't give up on it. I didn't want to call. A lot of times when they get hung up, I'll wait till they get behind something and I'll like that just to keep their interest.
But he got behind that big tree and he was walking straight towards us.
Oh, yeah. Once he got behind that big tree, I'm like, you're in trouble now, dude, because I could move my gun to him. I'm like, whichever side he pops out on, he's 40 and in. He was just bobbing his head walking straight at us. I could have let him walk in, but these Mississippi birds are flighty. In the woods like that, it could be a putt runoff job and shooting through the woods. So, and it's the first one of the year.
Yep. No chestnut this year?
I almost did. Yeah, I shot him. He's standing right here. Yep.
there's a little gap to that tree. It's about a 40-yard shot.
Yeah.
I tore up.
Feels kind of surreal. It's just like,
I just can't believe we just killed him.
yeah,
I can't.
I mean, I expected to get into turkeys today, but not immediately as soon as we got back in here. I thought we'd have to.
Yeah, I can't believe we just killed him. This turkey is that other subordinate bird, I'm assuming. He gobbled 3-4 times on the limb, then flew down and didn't say a peep this morning.
And just because he's a subordinate bird doesn't mean he's necessarily a younger bird. Sometimes those younger birds will team up and knock the big dog out of the group.
Oh yeah, big old longbeard. I was waiting to see his beard swinging, and I knew he was a legal bird.
You were asking me, and I was just like, I can't tell. I don't want to tell you yes, but
Real pretty turkey, man. Yeah, Jacob. Yeah, boy. Been waiting all winter for that.
Mm-hmm.
These Mississippi turkeys are small down here in southern Miss. That's probably an 18-pound bird.
I don't know what to say right now because it feels so surreal. Because, like I said, I felt like we were going to come in here, and then like maybe the last 2 hours, they'd come back in here and start loafing around a bunch, and we'd get into some real heavy action. But just as soon as we crossed that creek, you struck him, and
within 5 minutes, he was here.
Yeah.
And he was deep.
Yeah.
He was 200 yards in there when he gobbled.
Yeah, you'll be able to hear it clear how far he was. Like, he was not close at all.
That is crazy, dude.
He had cut the distance in half, I'd say, by the time he gobbled that second time. Like, he was coming the whole time.
See, the weird thing is me and Greg came in here yesterday, and we did almost the exact same thing. We got in here about 4 o'clock, except further down.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I got into the bottom, I hit the call, and the birds gobbled up in here. And they just wouldn't budge. But we made like 4 or 5 setups on them, thinking, they could be coming.
Yeah.
And they just never left this spot.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, man. Oh, man, I love Mississippi. I love every state for turkey hunting, but these birds down here are just especially tough early in the year. So
we definitely
when you kill one of them, it feels like you just won the Super Bowl.
We definitely have the right weather for it, though. It's probably almost a little too warm.
The gobbling activity in here, from what I'm assuming is the same birds, was way lower this morning compared to yesterday. Jake and I sat in here on them until 10 o'clock and decided, let's run back to the truck, get something to eat, maybe go prospect and scout a little bit, and then that was our game plan, was to come back in here. But on our walk out, we found all this sign.
Yeah.
Man, I can't tell you how important that is. How many turkeys have died over that fresh sign like that?
Especially when you're hunting a new area like this, like you guys have been chipping away just at this small spot for the last 2 days, and it's just like we took a different way in this last time we came in. It's just like you're slowly figuring out more efficient or better ways to do things as you're figuring out a small spot like that.
I've been through there, dude. Yeah. We just did that video on finding turkeys, though, and this is exactly to a T what we were talking about in that video.
Yeah.
It's like we came in here, me, Chris, and Thrash came in here on opening day, and we didn't get to this spot until like last light. And we popped out up there at the road, and as soon as we got out of the truck, Thrash heard birds gobble in this bottom. And we walked out there, and they gobbled one more time once they got up on the limb, and that was yesterday morning when we hunted them down there.
Yeah.
So we found them when we roosted. We were just listening from the road, heard them gobble on the roost, came in here the next morning, spent the whole day yesterday hunting them in here. But it's just chipping away, like you said. You start out there, you find them, and then you come in here, because we have no idea what this bottom looks like. We've never hunted down in here before. So yesterday, that's what most of the day was spent doing, and then even more this morning. Like, you're constantly scouting and kind of fine-tuning where the birds are when you're going into new areas.
Yeah, that's what's most exciting to me, is like the spot that we both were most fired up about is the spot that worked out. It's just like you had been through a lot more of this than I have, but it's just like this is definitely the highest concentration of sign that we found.
Yeah, I mean the scratching down through there was just filthy. The amount of tracks in the creek right here.
It's interesting how everything is so close to that creek, because if you get more than 100 yards off that creek, it's like you'd barely run into any sign. But then if you just basically parallel this creek all the way down through here, there's nothing but scratching. So these birds are just working up and down it. You said the last couple of days they
haven't left this creek. Like they're on this creek nonstop.
And I'd say that stands true for a lot of the hunts that we've had, especially down south here.
We have seen so many hunters in this spot too.
Yeah.
We ran into those 2 fellas yesterday morning that had been hunting these birds. They hunted them on opening day, and then when we came out yesterday morning, we ran into 2 other guys.
Different guys, and they were coming back in here.
Yeah, they were getting ready to come back in here once again in the afternoon. Like, how many have we killed in the morning, early season down south?
It's like they get around, they check all their hens, and then flock starts to break up a little bit, and you just seem to have such higher odds chances.
I'm gonna run back to the tree quick, and Jake is gonna film from back here, show you what the gobbler could see of our setup. Here's the tree. It's right under 40 yards, 38 yards or so. I leaned out and I shot right there at the lens. Cause see, there's a limb right here, and there's another little tree over here. I had that little bitty gap. When he popped that head up through there, he was walking straight at us. And you can see I'm still in the shadow of this tree right here. If I get out here in the sun, I pop out a bunch. But if you stay in the shadow, it makes it way harder for them to pick you up. Oh man, I love it. Love it. Yes. Ready?
Yeah, let's do some slow-mo shots on the way back.
Yeah, let's show you guys some unnecessary slow motion shots of us walking around with this turkey. I'd like to cook that thing at camp tonight.
Let's do it. Special Greg. Hopefully Zach and Ted are back here with the bird too. We don't have any service.
Yeah, hopefully Zach or Ted got one. Old Greg decided to spend the day editing, so big thanks to him. So me and Jake could come out and go hunting. Surely they shot something at their back, huh?
I hope.
Yeah, Zach's working. I figured you'd be down there in the room editing.
I got kicked out.
What?
They're shutting her down.
They're shutting her down.
Turkey season's shut down.
I was in there for about 2 hours. At least I got the episode done. And the lady called back and said, yeah, you're going to have to get out of there. We're shutting it down. The governor just called and we're shutting down state parks.
It's like a thing too that we might not be able to travel from
Yeah.
there, like real soon.
Well, the good news is we got one for the turkey tour.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. There's your Mississippi longbird. What time? Yeah, dude. I was so stoked, dude. Oh, so stoked.
What time was
it? Like an hour and a half ago, maybe?
Oh, really? This one of those birds we heard the other day, or did you find a new one?
No, this is one of those. This is the subordinate bird, I think.
Really?
Yeah, you know, there was the two that were together,
Yeah,
and then there was another one that was roosted off the side. I'm pretty sure that's the one.
No kidding.
They're
Yeah,
so
That's
small.
awesome.
They are small, dude. Like, he popped up at 50 yards. It took me and Jake forever to even see him, because we could hear him drumming the whole time.
Man, stupid editing.
Yeah, I mean,
I miss out on
I
all
killed
that.
him in the same spot that we heard him when we went down there last night.
This one, the one I shot and the one Zach shot are like are straight up the smallest ones that I've seen.
Yeah, these 17, 18 pound turkey probably.
Their fans are like super small, but pretty, like
Yeah.
the prettiest one.
Well, we got camp meat. It's a good thing. When all the stores shut down, at least we got something to eat
We're
on.
planning on cooking him tonight. Burn the end of that lens. You all right, bro?
Yep, sir. Let me see.
You all right?
Is it bleeding?
Is it bleeding? Oh my gosh. Oh, Luke. No, it ain't bleeding. Hey, look.
Okay.
Hey, here's what you tripped on. Look, see? Right there.
Do I have a knot in my hand?
Yeah, well, that's
And them things are gonna be done in no time. Pretty crazy that he was just in the woods gobbling like 6 hours ago. Now he's on the grill here in camp. That's a good day. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell down there. But thank you guys for watching this video. Zach and Teddy got one roosted tonight, so should have another action-packed video coming for you guys from down here in Mississippi.